Right, let's get started. First of all, let's make a list of what the hell I'm working on. So we set up last week containerized WordPress. WordPress development environment. In between streams, I've also created I've set up a Gatsby project. So we've done those two. So this week, in the stream this week, I want to be working on what do I want to be working on? I want to be kind of creating all the blocks and whatnot. Design blocks for the website. I also want to test out, the WordPress integration into Gatsby, which I've had to play with, but I want to kind of take that further forward. I want to test custom WordPress blocks into Gatsby, and I also want to check out whether I can find a WordPress theme. Well, I want to check out, is it WordPress.com? WordPress.org, I can't remember. WordPress.org, or is it .com? Can never remember. I think it's .com. So there's a free plan. Well, there was a free plan. Here we go. Compare plans, free. So it's the free themes. So we can have a free WordPress CMS with a free theme, and then we can pull that into our Gatsby project. And then we're just hosting the Gatsby project. Well, the Gatsby project will host on the Google Pages stuff, which is what I do for PandaBridge. So pandabridge.co.uk is all hosted for free because it's using Gatsby, so it's all kind of hosted on Google. It's static, so it's fast. So it's the same as So it'll be the same as that. So the question is, check out whether we can get so once we have some custom blocks from WordPress flowing in to Gatsby, can we then transition that over to a hosted WordPress instance where the free theme, because we don't care about the style of the WordPress instance because we're putting it into our Gatsby project, and the Gatsby project is the one that's going to be the kind of front end and themed and so on. So we're going to check out whether that whether we can get a free theme. Check out free theme provides suitable custom blocks, custom WordPress blocks. Okay, that's about right. Right. So first of all, we need to get our code, because I was working on a different PC yesterday. I was working on a Mac, and then we've got to set it all up and check that it's actually working. I can't remember where I put it. Marketing V2, here we go. I'm just going to pull this down. Let me just make this font bigger. 24? Is that too big? 18. Maybe I'll make it a bit bigger. Oh, there we go. Okay, so git clone, boop. And then the only thing I'm going to change is remove this stuff. Just create a marketing -v2 project. Yep, there we go. Docker may require a restart because I have problems with Trafix. So let me just restart Docker. Okay. Just wait for Docker to restart, and then we'll run makeup. And while we're here, we'll open up. Well, we already have code open. Let's open folder. And I can talk through the project structure. So last time we set up this, so the new thing is the front end project. So we set up everything else last time. In Docker Compose, we have everything running. Oh yeah, I'll need to change my .env file because we're on Windows. So let's do that. Save that. And then hopefully we can run make up. It would help if I was in the right project, wasn't it? There we go. G'day. Help if I was in the right window. Docker PS will show us what's running. Goodo. And then in here we can go to dev.pandabridge 8000. Forbidden. That's good and bad. So container's running, that's good. So all the containers are running. PHP is running, which is this one. And Nginx is running because we saw the error. So what's probably happening is So I had this yesterday, maybe I didn't check in the fix. In the Docker Compose for Nginx, you specify the server root. So that's right. Server root is right. It's the web folder. Oh, wait a minute. Have I... I might not have actually installed it. In fact, let's have a look. If we open our web folder, yeah, we haven't got any files here. So this is the benefit, and also I guess the crux of using the Composer-based installation version of WordPress is that you don't store any of the vendor code in the repository that you use. So the only stuff that you have checked into your repository is stuff that you've changed or stuff that you're editing, right? So it's your code. So here we have wp config. So we'd also store in here the themes and the plugins and so on. So anyway, it's easy enough to do that. Now I wrote this down the other day. Let me see if I can get out my documentation. Containerized environment, here we go. This is what I'm working on. So it's this one. This is the command we need to run from inside our container, and this will install the composer dependencies. So make shell, I don't think that actually works. Yeah, it doesn't work on Windows for whatever reason. I haven't looked into it. But we can do it from Portainer. So from Portainer, we go into the PHP one, and we click on this little link here, which is container console, connect. Here we go. Oh, if we do ls, you can see that we have our composer file here. And then we'll just paste in our composer install and interaction optimize autoloader. And this will download all our dependencies and install the WordPress installation files, or the WordPress vendor files, which is rather nice. So once that's done, we can then connect to our WordPress install. Now this is the development version of the WordPress. Sorry, this is for our development needs, right? So the code that I'm really working on is the Gatsby project. Hopefully I won't need to change the WordPress thing, but I'm doing a full WordPress installation because I want to be able to mess around with custom types and so on and have a play with that if I need to. So we'll see how it goes. So once that's installed, we can have a look. In theory, there shouldn't be anything to check in. So you see now under the web folder, we have all this stuff. Admin content includes. And the only thing that we've changed is .env, which is for changing the image from the Mac version to the Windows one, because we're on Windows here, so fine. Cool, so now if we go to here, we should get the installation. So here we're just going to install WordPress. So this is because this is new containers for this machine, so we haven't done this before. So it's like the first time we're running this project on this machine. So once we've set this up, we've done it. Confirm use weak passwords. Doesn't really matter. Install WordPress. Now, you noticed before I had wp config already set up. So if we have a quick look in here, this file just has all the DB name, username, password, and host set up correctly. Previously, this is all kind of dummy text. Well, you can see it here. This is what it came from, like all this stuff. So I've already configured this to match what's in the Docker Compose stuff. So it's going to point to our container. There we go. We've got our little website, which is running here. So that's absolutely fine. So next, so that's the WordPress container stuff running. So next we're going to look at just getting the Gatsby stuff sorted. So if we go to front end, so I've called the folder front end, we need to do an npm install. So I've got some Docker files and stuff here because I was trying to get it working in Docker. But in the end, I didn't bother. I kind of gave up. It was the end of the day yesterday, so I kind of gave up. But I don't know. So I have done it in Docker before, and it's been quite slow to pick up changes and watching file changes. Now, the benefits of running it in container development, as we've seen before, with the WordPress stuff and whatnot, is that you don't have to install PHP locally, you don't have to worry about versions and so on, and you know that if you came back to this project in a year's time, it's still going to work, as long as Docker's still running. and images are all available. But yeah, once you have that, it should be fine. So there we go. So we've installed everything. Whoops. So now if we do Gatsby develop, I believe, that should start up. And we should see some interesting things. Okay, let's allow it to access things. Yep, you can that's interesting. Gatsby source WordPress threw an error while running the source node lifecycle. Oh, couple of errors then. Let's see if it's running first of all. What was it? 8080? No. 8001 maybe. I can't remember. Okay, cool. So it is here. So first of all, let's fix that index thing. What was the error? Something about the UL. Expected corresponding JSX closing tags for UL. That is actually in... Okay, yeah, no, it is here. That. Are you going to work now? There you go. So that's running. Cool. So it threw some errors on the build. Gatsby source WordPress plugin has generated no Gatsby nodes. Do you need it? I do need it. Cannot convert an undefined or null to an object. Well, let's check our Gatsby config, shall we? Which is where this is all set up. So down here we have our Gatsby source WordPress, which is a plugin for Gatsby, which you can find on their website, and this is the configuration for it. devpandabridge.co.uk/800. That's definitely right? Ah, I know what it is. So to be able to connect, Gatsby needs, or the Gatsby plugin needs access to the WordPress JSON endpoint, which is at wp-json, I believe. And of course, this just gets redirected back to the index. Now, this is because you need to set the config. Here we go. If we go to dashboard, and you do that somewhere that I can never remember. This is to do with permalink settings. Permalinks. There's a menu for it. Derp. So we want the permalinks like this. It doesn't really matter. Basically, you just don't use this one because the plain one doesn't work. It redirects everything back to index, and then index doesn't. It's just showing you that index page because you go to wp-json, right? And it redirects to index, and it doesn't know what wp-json is. Whereas this one, it actually look at that extension and try and find the right thing. So if we save that now and go here, bada boom, bada bing. There we go. So we've got a JSON endpoint with a bunch of information on. So now, if we just stop this, hit Gatsby develop, something's running on port 8000. That's the WordPress stuff, I think, from Docker. So it's just saying, do you want to run on a different port? Okay, so that looks better. And we're going to check out this point here. So it said, so this is the WordPress stuff. So it found some posts, one post, one page, no media, one taxonomy, categories 1, tags none, and user 1, which you don't really care about. But there you go. So you now have all these additional GraphQL things that you can query. So for example, if I wanted to get all WordPress posts. I want their, I don't know, title, their, I don't know, date, I guess, and an excerpt. There you go. Would you want ID? Slug, maybe? Probably slug. There you go. So run that. So there you go. So you got the hello world post, the date it was created, I'm guessing, and then the excerpt, and then the slug. So there you go. And that's the one post that we have on Thingy. So that's been loaded into our Gatsby project as static data, which we can then do. But of course, if we wanted to change that, so we can go to dev.wordpress 8000. Let's go in here. Let's change our post title. Edit. I don't know. First post. Hello world. Update that. Now, of course, this doesn't trigger the build automatically. This is something that we could probably look into, but not right now. So we have to kill the build for this and then restart it, and that will load in the new post changes. So let's go back up to this. So basically it deletes everything, I believe, and then regenerates it. So I don't really know, to be honest. Don't know what it's trying to find there. Let's see if that worked though. Let's go back to GraphQL, run that. First post, hello world, there you go. So it's got the update through now. So there you go. So that we've set up now WordPress installation, pushing data through to the Gatsby, and Gatsby is statically generating that or pulling that information in, and we can do whatever we want there. So for example, this is what I just threw together yesterday, but on our homepage we can have a list of recent posts that when you click through, they then go to a nice printed version of that. Cool. So now let's go back to our list. Right, so we've done that. Gatsby project, done that. Design blocks for websites. So that's what I'm working on now, which is we'll close this. Don't need this. Don't need this. It's just going to be some traditional development. So you see, I've already put in a column style for this page. So let's list out actually the different blocks that we want, or different templates that we want. So we want a post page, a portfolio page template, I should say, I mean, the portfolio page could potentially be just, and this is something I want to test with the data coming in from WordPress and the new Gutenberg editor, is, you know, is that enough HTML to be able to say, right, I'm going to give everything underneath the nav over to whatever coming back from WordPress, and that will allow us to do columns and all kinds of stuff. So that'll be interesting. So direct from Guten, is it 1T, I think, Gutenberg. Because the page might be able to cover, sorry, I'm just trying to think, I'm thinking in my head, not out loud. So the page might cover everything that we need for like services, portfolio, or maybe not portfolio, or maybe portfolio, I don't know. Can't, right, services, portfolio, and that's probably it. We need a contact page. this would be the blog section. Oh, we need probably like a post index, post page for the blog. Let's get rid of that. We know what we're talking about. And we probably want a recent post component. Cool. Another thing I want to try with when doing design is I want to change the font to one of those block fonts so that everything's blocked out and you concentrate more on the structure as you would with wireframing, and we can have a play with that, and then we can add the content in at a later point. So let's go to Google Fonts block letters. Anton. Not like that. Like wireframing block. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, this. Kind of like that. So block on Google Fonts. Nah, it doesn't have it, does it? I wonder if there's like embed font. Here we go. That's what I want. Font family block. So if I now go into my typography, maybe, yeah, take you out and change you to block. Save that. Jump back to my site. Failed to load. Interesting. That definitely is what it says to do, right? Did I make a mistake? Let's have a look. Does that exist? That does exist. Let's look at my networks. There are my fonts. There. So these don't work apparently. Well, that's rubbish, isn't it? Site cannot be reached. Down for me. Let's check if this URL is down for anyone else. Yeah, fine. So the hosted version does not work. Fantastic. Let's see if there's like a CDN version. Bit of Googling. Blah blah blah. Here we go. Use either block font raw git link or use block original CSS for including the font straight on block font. The base URL is the same. Be aware that block font does not serve as HTTPS. Does it? Do I care? So if I try putting that in. To help if I actually hit the right thing. How are we doing? Oh, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. That's cool, right? Maybe? So it's a bit chunkier than what you'd have with like lorem ipsum text, right? I suppose that's the only downside. But anyway, back to our list. So we've got a home page. We want a home page component. We want a footer, and we want a nav bar. Cool. So should we start with let's start with a list. Should we create a, let's import that as well. Let's create an override for like pure text. So we've set the default to this, but we want one that's like, one that's correct. So that it doesn't look crazy. And then we can chuck that in something like text. Oops. Boop. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but I'm just like missing these things like crazy. Okay, so now on our index, if layout component, if we wanted to, in the is it in the helmet then? No, sorry, navbar. We could do text, save that, and then that should come through correctly. As an example, we'll turn that off in a moment. So we're just going to have a list of those items that we just talked through, all the different components. I'm just going to have a list of them on the index, so that we can get straight through to them. I didn't like that. Doesn't need to be on each one. It's the font for inspect. Sorry, let's bring this up. So the family later, so there's something overriding that. Yeah. I have to put it on each individual one. Fine, whatever. Actually, we don't want it on this anyway. We want a new one. We want, I believe Gatsby uses, is it the React link stuff? I can't remember. And then you do link to whatever. And presumably I can do class name equals text. And if we checked our site, there we go. Whoop. Now that's obviously not going anywhere. That doesn't exist. This is just a 404 page. But hey ho. Okay, cool. So let's have a look. So we want a post index. Call it /blog. That's probably where we want to stick it, right? /blog, /resources, /blog. Is there a... How do you configure routes in Gatsby? Can't remember. Config? Wouldn't have thought so. Does it automatically pick it up? Like if I do a new page? Like if I go new file. Okay, yeah. So we want a blog page, and then on that page we'll have the component. Does that make sense? I think so. import layout, const blah. Layout, boop, boop, boop. Layout, good. And now we just want to do didn't like that. Why did you not like that? Blog is assigned a value but never used. React must be in scope when using JS8. Oh, fine. Yeah, fine. We want to export out as well. We want to export default blog page. So if we do something like h1 class name equals text, and then we'll just call this post index. Just put an HR in. So what I don't know is how Gatsby knows to find new pages. So let's Google that. Creating and modifying pages.
There's jazz going on.
You can query for page information while developing GraphQL. Pass to follow, creating blah 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 blah. All site pages. Row 4. Well, there is a slash blog. Go back to the index, post index. Oh, it works now. Maybe just need refreshing. Who knows? So, okay, so for this, I want to have like a it would just be a list. It would be just the image, title.
There's no difference at all.
So it'd be what, 3 columns? Okay. We can do this. So components. We're going to do this post index.
That's one way. I don't say the only way, but it is one way.
Post index.
So almost all spiritual disciplines, meditations, prayers, etc., are ways of persisting in folly.
Okay, fine.
Doing resolutely and consistently what you're doing already. So if a person believes,
So I'm wondering whether we should use a query straight away to get it. No, we'll come back to that. Sorry, I'm just thinking, like, do we want the query straight away to pull out the correct information from the WordPress stuff? But no, I think we'll just focus on creating the components first, and then we'll go back and update them to show the right thing. Okay. Let's do it like this. Just copy that in. This is cool. Whoops. Gosh. I'm telling you, I've got really fat thumbs today. Post index, div, class name, and we're going to go for a container. So it's going to sit in a container. Is it going to sit in a container? Yeah. And then we're going to do div class name equals, and then it's like col-3, I believe. And then we just do h2 some title. Oh, and it would help if on our blog we put in post index. And we're not passing anything through. There we go. Now, what's going on here? You're nested in. Do you not need the container? I think we've got a container and a container. Yeah, okay, fine. I was wondering whether we needed that. Okay. Ooh. Oh gosh. Gosh.
That's the great discovery. You see?
Updating the wrong files, aren't I? Okay, so now it's in the right place.
You're really unimportant after all.
So wait a minute. So we're working on columns of 4. So this should actually be 4, 8, 12. Yeah. Bink. Cool. What I might do, if I do const post summary, can we put post summary in here as that? And will that work? So if I do post summary, will that still work the same? Okay, cool. I'm a bit worried that that's not. Let's put 6 in. What am I doing wrong? If I go back to my index page, I'll have all the layout things. Col3 class row, that's what it is. I believe. /div. Lovely. Good. And now, because we've got like 6 there, we can piss around with this. So, H2 title. So how are we going to do this? So it's going to be like a card, right? It's going to have an image, title, a date. That's probably it. So let's do a link to that. Just get a random date format. Let me go to pandabridge.co.uk because in here I've got a date format I like using, maybe. Oops, probably was here. Ooh, link is not recognized, fine. We can add a link in. Let's go back here. So import squiggly brackets link from Gatsby, save. Obviously we need to change that. I don't like the vertical space. Class name equals text hyphen muted. I don't know if that exists, probably not. So we're going to add that into typography and go, oh wait a minute, font. Oh, maybe font light will do actually. Let's do that. Whoops. Gosh. That thumbs. If I just wait a minute, let me go back to my yeah, in here. Let's just change that to later for a minute. I just want to see what it looks like. Yeah, that's good. It's hard to see it. Anyway. Right, we're going to add some styles in. We're going to add a new style called component dot, what should we do? Post summary. Post summary, background, color, red. Just to make sure it's working. And then, so we might remove this. Do we want to put it on here, or do we want to put it on the... Yeah, we'll leave it here, and then then we just want to import it like so. Don't know about that capital. So that's interesting. So we do display block. There you go. Padding 1 rem. Boop, boop. Okay. Let's just have a look at the U. So where's the padding? So do we want this? Let's look at HTML5. HTML5 blog index markup. Is there like a proper semantic? There you go. Semantic HTML5 structure for your thingies. This is like a different section. Would it be a section? Do not do this. Okay. Design a blog with HTML5. Whatever. So it should be article. Let's do that then. So we want a article in here with class name equals post summary. This thing goes up into here. You can go here. You can come here. Done. Shouldn't look any different. Fine. Do you? Okay, interesting. What does time do? So if I do text, I don't think this will work. I think it needs to be on the next one over. Yeah. Don't know what time allows us to do. Is that just a semantic markup for it? Bigger. Okay. Is there a title? There we go. What do we have? Each article should be identical. Typical by including a header h1 to h6 as a child of the article element. When an article element is nested, the inner element represents an article related to the outer element. Fine. Author information of an article can be but it doesn't apply to nested. Publication date of the time article, and it can be described using the date time attribute of a time element. Note that the pub date attribute of a time is no longer part of the HTML5 standard. Okay, so you need it like that. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then what? That would be 2019. 06 24. Whatever time. Interesting. Right. Let me take the text off that. So, fine. M0. So this is like probably utility. That's good. Let's just quickly check that article again. Wait a minute, let me just go back to typography. Of course I don't have it open anymore. Change that over to later for the moment. Whoops. Oh, gosh, I can't spell. Totally retarded. What is going on here then? Because you don't have... So I want that a bit further up. I want that right underneath it. Maybe that's alright. Is that too big? Let me get some article example, like startup idea checklist. There we go. That's a good point. Okay. How do we want to do this? Because what happens if one of my articles has a different sized title? Shoot, that I didn't mean to do that. Like this one, right? How does that work with our current structure? Horribly. So we could do we want it like do we want it like a what's it called? Is it mosaic? Mosaic grid. Man, I'm starving. I'm gonna have to go down for a sandwich in a minute. Masonry. Masonry would probably be quite fun. So how do you do that? Should we, right, let's get rid of this for a moment. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly pull this from a const title r equals And I'm just going to grab all the titles from here. Just so we have some dummy data to piss around with. What's it complaining about? Oh, I'm missing some commas in there. This is my list of external resources that I currently have on my website, which are very useful. Not mine, but you know. Oops. If I could be bothered, if I was running in Vim, I'd like bulk update all this stuff, so. But I'm not. Right. JS random array. Here we go. That's what we want. So in here, we can go boop, 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 and then go title arg. Title r, find the blah blah blah, times blah 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 blah. Now if we look at our thing, look at that, perfect. Let's put block back on. Right, at 11:30 I'm going to go down. So the line height may be what's messing it up. So let's get rid of some of these. Component post summary. H2 line height 1 EM. Yeah, that's better. Right, what we were doing, we were looking at the masonry stuff. So let's have a look. So let's go back to here. Can I close it? No. Okay, fine. So display grid. Is this a So this will be interesting. Span row. Ugh. You want it automatically, dynamically. Here we go. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like that approach. Is there like a React.js masonry? There's a masonry component, masonry CSS. Here's your blah blah blah. Basic usage. What's the image load options? Element type. Interesting. Disable images load. False. Update on each image load. Don't think I need that. Maybe let's look at Gatsby masonry. I mean, there's no point rebuilding it. High performance masonry layouts with Gatsby. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're doing. So that's fine. Oh, wait a minute. How did he do that then? Oh, is he just randomizing the width? Oh, that's not what we want. No, 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 no. Well, we'll see. See, it pops in. This is the problem, right? That's not what I want. I don't want it to just like load everything and then just pop in more crap. Ugh. Maybe I'll just try this. What does this do then? Compose bundle with masonry. Also divide blah 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 blah. Well, that doesn't seem to work at all, does it? What's running? What's wrong? Heroical failure. Perfect timing. Look at that. Coffee just arrived. Right. So, should we try this React Masonry component just for the hell of it? I don't know how that's going to sit in our container, but we'll figure it out. So, let us stop our site. Copy. Are you going to copy? There we go. React Masonry component. There we go. So it might not work with our columns, which will be interesting. Right, let's get Gatsby running again. Post index. Actually, for the moment. So if we keep it in a row and then we do, what was it, masonry? Oh God, I can't remember what it. So masonry. Masonry options, So element type. Or should we strip this out and put it in as article? Class name. My gallery class, masonry options. Save what images load, files update on image load, images blah blah blah. Right, let's save that. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't know what these are. Yeah. What? Okay, that's cool. Let's just put let's put a border on our. Like, how does this work if we let's go mobile? Wow. Okay. Okay. Cool. Interesting. So. What was I doing? I was updating this, right. Let's get rid of you. Let's make you grey. I can't even spell today. What is wrong with me? Light grey. Or light blue, fine. Border. 1 pixel, solid, grey. That's very cool. So is margin, so if I put margin 1 EM in, what does that do? Okay, very cool. So I wouldn't mind this aligned in the center. What does our grid normally have? The coal 4, width is width. What's the coal? Gutter is 4%. Minus gutter times 8 divided by 12. So I wonder, like, what other masonry options are there? I mean, that worked surprisingly well. Documentation's shit, as usual. So it says masonry options, but it doesn't tell me what those are. Transition duration. Interesting. Interesting. Does that mean it doesn't do that stupid load thing? Masonry. That's what I'm talking about. So I need to fix the width thing. I want it to fill the width of the page, or width of the container maybe. Like this. Oh, wait a minute, let's have a look at the width thing. Where's it getting its width from? So is that because the breakpoints for masonry are different from the breakpoints of my grid system? Interesting. So it's gone down into 2 columns. Like, if I make that 50%, maybe rejig a little bit. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe I need to take off the grid stuff. Maybe. Let's create a horizontal masonry now. Lightweight and easy. Okay, here we go. So I want to find the docs options. Column width, align items to the horizontal grid. Column width. We recommend using column width. If column width is not set, masonry will use the outer width of the first item. Use element sizing for responsive layouts with percentage widths. Set column width to an element or select a string. So use the outer width of the element for the size of the column. Set column width to an element. So I think what I need to do is, yeah, this coal thing is messing it up, but only because it has a margin, or a gutter I should say. So if I do something like that and find my grid thing and just as a test do col-4-nm. Where's the col for one? So no margin, so there's no gutter. So it's just divided by 3, width divided by 3. And then up here, well, there's width going to be 96%. So width nm is 100%. So this one's going to be width nm. And this is when min width is breakpoint medium. we're not using that. And then, but normally the width will be 100%. Okay, cool. So, let's refresh that. Did I save it? I did save it. So the width is 33.3. I need to take the margin off for me. Thingy. Take you off. Okay, cool. Better. Okay, cool. So now, okay, so that works. Presumably my index still works. Whoops. Go back to my index. That's still fine. Cool. Right, let's get rid of that. Let's come back here. So if I put it on a article and then my post summary has a, well, it has a link in it, which should be an A, right? So you go up here and then we go A. Yeah, and you have a padding as well. Okay. Sorry, that one. Okay. It's looking good. Now the only other thing I need to add in is a image, so image placeholder. I want like a 150 by 150. What default WordPress? What's it called? Featured image or something? All site page. No, we want to go to all WordPress posts, edges, node. Media. I might have to look into that. Let's call it card background. Card border. Okay. And then card shadow. Do we want a shadow? Probably not. And then we can do something like $hover. So when it's hovered, we can do darken brackets card background by 10%. I can't remember, or like 20% or something, I don't know. No. Never remember. Does that have to be like that? Sass. Darken. I always forget. Darken 10%. Oh, it will help if I do background color. And spell that right. Okay. I also want to do, I want to remove the underlining, which will be text decoration none. Oop. And then, oh yeah, WordPress. That was it. I was looking up WordPress image size. Thumbnail. Post thumbnail. Thumbnail sizes. Oop. Default to 150 by 150. What's the max size of this? Like, what size is it right now? 190. It needs to be slightly bigger. Fine. So we'll need to get the medium, which is 300 by 300. So if we grab this URL, just go 300. Fine. And do Perfect. We'll take. That's kind of cool, actually. Like offset. How do we want to do it? Do we want it as a background image? If that makes sense. As in, we could do like div class name equals post hyphen summary hyphen thumbnail. Ooh. Just trying to think. We want to use the data source. Background image. Oops, background image URL brackets. Do you not work like that? You have to be like that. I feel like that needs to be React style object. How does it look? Fuck me, can't remember. I want inline styles. This one. Come on. React inline style. background image. There you go. Curly braces are blah blah blah. So style. Okay, fine. So is that? It's like that. And then URL. Don't know if that's good enough. URL is not defined. Fine. So do we need to wrap the whole thing in a string? Probably. And then we do, okay, cool. And then this is called post summary thumbnail. Maybe I'll just call it thumbnail actually. Post summary. Thumbnail. Height is equal to 300 pixels. Or maybe not, maybe like 150 pixels. Width is 100%. Position, background position. Just do like margin -1 rem. Plus 1 rem. No, fine. So will height always be 150 pixels? Post summary, we could do like position relative, margin top, or padding top, I should say. Padding top is 150 pixels. Position absolute. Oh my goodness. Height, width, 100%. Don't need that. Top 0 left. Whoops. 0.
What makes you itch?
Oh.
What sort of a situation would you like?
Because this is in the wrong place.
Vocational guidance for students. They come to me and say, well, we're getting out of college and we haven't the faintest idea what we want to do. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money was no more?
180.
How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of
What the hell happening there?
we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way.
Jeez. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Out of doors life and ride horses.
So that's interesting that that is... Padding top is 150. Let's inspect that.
When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that,
Ah,
and forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing,
oh, have you got the image still in there?
completely
We
wasting
do.
your time.
Let's get rid of that.
You'll be doing things you don't like
There you go.
doing in order to go on living, that is to go on doing things you don't like doing.
And then finally we need to do background.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And after all, if you
Background
really like what you
hyphen
do, it doesn't matter what it is,
position.
you can eventually turn it you can become a master of it. The only way to become a master of something is really put it.
No repeats. Background position. We want it center. so it's now center. And then finally we want to do background. What is it? Background size. Stretch. Oh, I can never remember what it is. We want like cover. Background. And again, I can't remember. I can't remember any of this stuff. So, yeah, it's background size. I knew it. I knew I was right. G'day. Oh man, let's refresh it quickly. It's fine. So we could do something like here go put like an overlay over it, over the whole thing. So we should do like background color red. Oh, that's what's missing. Okay, fine. And do position absolute width 100%, height 100%. That's coming in. Why? That's why, because I need to put an after like that. Some weirdness going on. It would help if I go top is equal to 0, left is equal to 0. Lovely jubbly. And then we just do so background hyphen color is equal to, say, color border at the moment, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Get review, and then we can do in the hover one, you can say hover. We can just do that maybe? No. Display none. Opacity 5%. So we can now select it and go pink. There you go. And it will go through to whatever we've got. Lovely jubbly. That's good. Let's get rid of this. Spell. Why is that showing as card background? Oh, no, it is fine. It's just because it's darkened. Don't know if there's like a lazy loading function that we can do, but I don't think it really matters because this is static content. And I don't see myself writing a lot of information, so there you go. So this is the post-index masonry. I'm just thinking that on the home page we might want it as like a flex grid, where so it looks the same but all the cards are the same height to whatever the maximum is. And it's good. So we still need to do the header. I need to add that into my list. We've done that.
Vast expanses reaching out to the horizon. Thinkers of green, blue. Those grasping hands outstretched, spread across so small a frame.
This is pretty good for distraction-free coding, by the way. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so next, what do we want to do next? So this is looking pretty good. Obviously, this is unstyled in terms of, you know, we haven't got the text in there or any content, but that's fine. What should we do next? Should we work on the footer? I'm just thinking this container needs a bit of a margin at the bottom. But we could have that as part of the footer. So the footers and everything. Now, there's a website I like that I want to copy what she does on her website. Almost. I quite like this. So I like the copyright. That's good. I want to copy that. I want to copy. I don't like these spinny things. Screw that. But I like this stuff. That's nice. Yeah. So what's that? Is that quarters, do you think? Like 2 quarters. Well, whatever. Let's do footer next then. So footer is a component. Let's close everything. Let's go to layout. So in layout, we have the helmet, have the nav bar, which we'll come back to in a minute. We have children, and then we're going to have footer. Because the footer is always going to be the same. Footer doesn't exist yet, so let's create it. New file, footer.js, capital F. Footer is going to be the same as the nav bar in terms of it's taken from React. We've got footer.css, we've got footer here, and we've got footer here. Perfect. This is going to be footer. And then we'll just do... Yeah, that's probably fine. So what I do, site links, contact. Let's create that style while I'm here. Component.footer.scss. So footer. I don't know if I can like just yoink. How's she done it? Footer, fine. 1077. So she's got a 24 column thing. So I'm running off 12. So not quite the same. But anyway. background color, let's do a dark grey for the moment. And color, white. Just so you can see what's going on. Export footer, layout, we need to include that. Let's just write that again, it should automatically import it. There we go. Lovely. Cool. So our footer, I think our footer's completely outside of the container. So div class name equals the container. Then we want div class name equals a row. And we're going to have 2 of those, because this will be the copyright. This will be text center. Let's just do the copyright quickly. Come on, something fun. Ugh, let's get rid of that. Don't want that. And text center doesn't exist because of course we don't do that because it's not full bootstrap, it's not bootstrap or anything. So I'll just put something in here that calls text center. Text hyphen line center. Good. So I don't know if we can do like text small, which would be like font. There's a actually. Oops. Let's make that. Let's actually put that in a small. Wrap that in small. How have I done it on Panda Bridge? All rights reserved. Break. Smell. Oh, yeah, fine. And then fine. Oh, what happened there? Don't know. And if we do class name equals text, we can actually see what we're writing. What I might do actually is I might do it so that a footer always shows text, which will be in my component footer. We do font family. So we can actually see what's going on now. Let's put some padding. One rem, 0. G'day. That color isn't coming through. Why is that color not coming through? Color's being overwritten by something, by you. I don't like this everything must be grey thing, because this is a bit of a code smell here writing this in, so didn't even work. So what, even with important it's not working? Wow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my global. No, wait. I'll go to my typography. Top I will go. Instead of you, I'll do. Okay. Wow. Oh, that's the A stuff. Oh. Because it's a visited link, I guess. Did that? Wow, okay. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Oh dear. Can I put like fine. That's better. We'll come back to the font, sort that out in a minute. Let's get back to our footer component, and in this div, what did I say? Two quarters will be dedicated to the about. So col 6. Col hyphen 4. No, 3. I just want to check what size this is. H3. I like it. I like that footer. It's good. It's good to take inspiration. I'm gonna say for all titles, which I think I have somewhere down here, maybe. Nope. What have I called it? Font family text. That's better. That's interesting because now I can see that that's like butting right up against that. I don't like that actually in terms of, I mean it's good. Well, how big's my font size, my default font size? 16 then? Oh, wait a minute. 1.75 times 16. $28 pixels. So in my post summary component, my margin top, if I just add 30 onto there, that's too much. Then back in my thingies, I can just go. It's H3, wasn't it? What I do? Let's put some lorem ipsum paragraph HTML. Medium paragraph. Here you go. Should we just give it one paragraph then? Did I? Don't want that. Good. And then we want H6 on the old over here. Sorry, H3. What was it? What did she call it? Site links and contact. So site links will be a list. She's done it as an older list. Good. Two. Let's do slash home. Home, work, what did I write down in my list of things to do? Blog. Services. Do services there. Portfolio. Services, blog. About. And contact. So it's like a easy thing. Quite like it in the bullet list format, you know. It's good. I like it's clear, you know. So that's showing up that there's a problem with my old not like that. And then, okay, and then contact will be some stuff. So it'll be an address. So we need to create the address. Presumably a link. Did I do a P up here? I think I did. Oops. Link to Chris at bandabridge.co.uk. Some social icons, which we won't do right now, but we will do an address. So an address, HTML5 address, because I can never remember the markup for that. It's just that. Why does it not like that then? Because these aren't closing. It's the proper XML. If I did class name text. Fine. Maybe I should make this all like readable. No. Indecisive. Font family. Play-Doh. It's nice. Nice and clear. Column stuff. Yeah, this is I mean, yeah, it could be just the way this text is structured, that like break between there and there, but that offset's a bit weird. Let me take the it's like the, is it margin? Can't remember. Well, so what is the current padding on that then? Padding 1 rem. No. Padding. Margin block start. Well, let's leave it like that for the moment. Let's put a little thing in. So this row text center border top, B top. And then just my component footer. We'll do so we'll do background, color, oops, dark gray, background color, foreground. Gosh, I can't type. Foreground color. We'll just set these to white because we'll change all of these. It could be that we actually have a separate we pull in set like a colors thingy. So border top 1 pixel solid, darken brackets, background color by 10%. Beautiful. Yeah, that'll do. Does the padding... There should probably be .p top. Padding top. 1 rem. Good. Right. Right, I'm going to wrap up the stream now because I need to go and get some lunch. I will probably be back on this afternoon finishing this off. So what have we done so far? So we've done that. It's looking pretty good. So we're just doing all the blocks. So post page next, recent post, we talked about that earlier. A page will be quite interesting. So this stuff's pretty straightforward, that's fine. Page is going to be pretty interesting because we're going to look at whether we can pull in stuff direct from Gutenberg in terms of, so you've got various blocks in Gutenberg, including columns. So it'll be interesting to see how versatile that is. We'll have a look. Then we've got contact page and home page. Stuff to do. This is good. So there you go. Thanks for watching.